The countryside around the town of Ubud in central Bali is often called the real Bali, the Bali that you see in tourist brochures. For first-time visitors, a tour of this region is definitely one for the bucket list. And what better way to do it than with a private driver? But what we found was a constant push and pull between tradition and tourism. We're Chris and Lydia. Come roving through the Bali countryside with us today. Good morning from Ubud. We've had an early start this morning because we're going on a Get Your Guides private tour with our lovely guide Balap, and we're heading off now to see the famous rice terraces.
Lots of waterfalls.
Seeing some waterfalls, going to a water temple.
And we'll put a link of Get Your Guides below, so if you wish to do this tour, you can click on that and book it as well. So let's see what we get up to.
Let's get going. Our first stop of the day was the Tegallalang Rice Terraces. Located about 20 minutes north of Ubud, these lush layered fields are one of the most iconic and photogenic spots in all of Bali. Our driver dropped us at the entrance, and straight away we found ourselves caught between two worlds. Wow. The beauty and history of centuries-old rice farming, and the touristy side of Bali, complete with jungle swings, Instagram photo ops, and even a zipline. So we figured, why not explore both? Well, we've arrived at the famous Ubud Rice Terraces. It does look incredible, doesn't it?
It does, it's amazing. Very lush and green and beautiful, and lots of fun adventure activities to do here. So we're going to do some swings and ride a bike across the rice paddies in the air.
That's going to be interesting.
It will be interesting, and some zip lining, so come along and see if we survive.
I'm sure we will, but we might have a look at some of the rice terraces, seeing that's what we're here for. We've all seen the photos, a beautiful woman in a flowing dress soaring over lush rice terraces on a giant swing. But behind the scenes, it's not quite that tranquil. There's actually a whole lineup of swings to choose from. We arrived about 8:30 in the morning before the crowds, which meant no long queues. And yes, we got to try a few of them. They strap you in securely, give you a solid push, and off you go. The staff are well practiced and happy to play photographer while you fly through the air, even coaching you into those perfect Instagram poses.
1, 2, hands up! Yes, good.
And if you want to complete the look, you can hire one of those dramatic, colourful dresses for around $10. Not up for swinging? No problem. There are birds' nests, bamboo hearts, and other classic Instagram setups scattered around, so you can still capture that iconic Bali photo with both feet planted firmly on the ground. While the swings were fun, we were after a bit more of a thrill, so the zipline was more our scene.
Bit of a wedgie. Thank you.
There are several operators offering swings, ziplines and sky bikes at the Tegallalang Rice Terraces. Most charge a small entrance fee of a few dollars, with swing packages starting from around $20 and zipline experiences from about $30.
Woo, one-handed. Go me. Look at me go. Oh my God. This is my view. Holy dooly. Guacamole. Woohoo! Thank you.
It's definitely touristy and a bit on the pricey side, but if you go early and treat it as a bit of fun, it's worth doing once. And if you're travelling with kids, chances are the Zipline and Sky Bike will be the highlight of their whole Bali trip. The real magic of Tegallalang isn't in the swings, it's in the rice fields. So once we'd had our adrenaline fix, we went for a wander. The Tegallalang Rice Terraces are a classic example of Bali's ancient subak irrigation system, a traditional method Balinese farming communities use to manage water on steep hillsides. Instead of letting water run off, they share it through a network of canals and tunnels that flow from one rice terrace down to the next. This way, every little patch of rice gets just the right amount of water it needs. The system isn't just practical, it's built on strong community cooperation, with farmers working together to manage the water and keep the terraces thriving. It's really beautiful here, but my advice is to come early, because come 11 o'clock the crowds start picking up and the sun peeks over the mountain top and it gets really warm and humid. So an early start is the order of the day. UNESCO's recognition of Bali's subak irrigation system helped shine a global spotlight on Tegallalang, which quickly became its poster child. Unfortunately, many visitors now come more for the Instagram photos than for the cultural significance, but if you take the time to wander through these incredible terraces, you'll find there's so much more to appreciate than just a pretty backdrop. After soaking in the landscape, we left the terraces behind and made our way to one of Bali's most sacred places, Tirta Empul Temple. Tirta Empul is one of Bali's most important and sacred temples. Built over 1,000 years ago, the temple is famous for its holy spring, which is believed to have purifying powers. Tirta Empul literally means holy spring in Balinese. Just inside the entrance, we pass a statue of Indra, the Hindu god of rain and storms, who is said to have created the spring. According to legend, after Indra's heavenly army was poisoned by the evil king Mayadanawa, Indra struck the ground with his staff and a healing spring burst forth, saving his soldiers.
When the people sick and then when the people have much problem, he not go to hospital. She had still believe like the magic, like the spiritual. Actually, the people when have the problem like stress, business is bad like that, and then the people come here praying for need the holy water, helping, like make energy better coming.
Just before we reached the temple, we passed a large banyan tree enclosed within a prayer area. In Balinese Hinduism, banyan trees are believed to be the dwelling places of spirits and are revered as symbols of protection and wish fulfillment. To enter the temple, both men and women must wear a sarong. If you're not taking part in the purification ritual, these are usually provided free of charge at the entrance. Balinese Hindus make the pilgrimage to Tirta Empul to bathe in the holy spring water in a purification ritual called Melukut. Non-Hindus are also welcome to participate, as long as they do so respectfully and follow the proper etiquette.
So the people who are getting ready to go under the water are making an offering, and then they get to go inside once they've made their offering. So that's what they're doing behind me here.
Once temple goers have made their offering and prayer in the outer temple, they enter the purification pool to begin the ritual, a spiritual cleanse meant to wash away negativity from body and mind. Wearing a special bathing sarong, they enter a pool where water from the sacred spring flows through 13 stone spouts. They join a line of people moving from left to right, spout to spout, each one believed to wash away different kinds of spiritual impurities. So we're now going inside the temple itself, the source of the spring, the holy spring.
I put on holy water
Make his hair grow back.
for the good energy and positive energy go inside.
Okay, great. After the cleansing ritual, many visitors continue into the inner temple for further prayer and quiet reflection.
When the people have the ceremony, and then the people put offering around this here, up there, and then the people sitting here in the floor. Only like this one, the white that this one, the leader of the temple can do sitting little bit up.
Okay.
Like me, we're sitting.
We're sitting on the
Not
ground.
go inside.
Alright. The inner temple is a peaceful contrast to the busier outer courtyards, a beautifully designed space with a calm spiritual atmosphere, traditional Balinese architecture, intricate stone carvings, and the sacred spring itself, gently bubbling up from the earth. While Tirta Empul and its purification ritual have become popular photo stops on the Instagram trail, the temple still holds deep spiritual meaning for locals. Taking the time to understand the ritual can make it a surprisingly moving and meaningful experience. Just be prepared though, the only way out is through a seemingly endless souvenir market. Back on the road again, our next stop was a bit of a surprise. It wasn't mentioned as clearly on the tour description, but as we pulled into the coffee plantation, we realised we were about to learn all about Luwak Coffee, or as it's more famously known, cat poo coffee. We're visiting a coffee plantation just near the water temple. So we're going for a bit of a stroll with a guide who's showing us different types of coffee in the plantation as well as other fruits and plants.
But we have a good honey from this bees.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're little bees coming out. They're tiny.
Yeah, the tiny little bees.
We need those bees at home.
Yeah. Then came the Luwaks, the little cat-like creatures behind the most expensive coffee in the world. We didn't know much about Luwak Coffee before coming here, but our guide walked us through the whole process. The animal eats only the ripest coffee cherries, which ferment as they pass through its digestive system and eventually come out the other end. She showed us how the beans are then collected and cleaned, roasted, and finally ground into what's known as kopi luwak. After the tour, we sat down for a tasting of their flavoured teas and coffees. Everything from coconut coffee to lemongrass, mangosteen and rosella teas. Some of the teas were actually really nice, and we especially liked the ginger tea, but we chose not to buy any Luwak coffee. And that's because there are real ethical concerns about how the Luwaks are kept. While our guide was friendly and informative, many of the animals we saw were kept in cages, and unfortunately that's common practice. Wild Luwaks are often captured, kept in captivity and force-fed coffee cherries just to keep the coffee flowing, which can cause them lots of stress and harm. So while it was interesting to learn how it all works, it's definitely something worth thinking twice about before supporting. While Bali is best known for its beaches, temples and rice terraces, its waterfalls are also a big part of the island's natural charm. And so it wouldn't be a tour of the Ubud countryside without visiting a couple of its best.
We're off to Tibumana Waterfall. Let's go check it out.
Only 300 metres, but there's some beautiful rice terraces along the way. Look at this, the palm trees and the rice terraces. It's very picturesque. There's temples everywhere in Bali, isn't there? The stroll from the car park to Tibumana Waterfall was beautiful and peaceful. With gentle water features and bamboo bridges along the way, it even felt a little mystical. There weren't many people around, so it felt like a secret, a hidden gem tucked into the jungle. Then we rounded a corner, and there it was. Wow. Tibumana isn't a dramatic waterfall, just a clean curtain of water spilling into a shallow pool, perfect for swimming. But it's beautiful in its simplicity. It actually reminded us of Milla Falls near Cairns in Australia. Serene yet powerful and totally worth the walk. Our final stop of the day was Kanto Lampo Waterfall, and it couldn't have been more different. It's one of the most popular waterfalls in Bali, and probably the most photographed. If you've ever seen footage of someone striking a glamorous pose under a waterfall, there's a good chance it was filmed here. But just like the rice terraces, what you don't see on social media is what's happening behind the camera. Where Tibumana felt peaceful and hidden, Kanto Lampo was packed, with people lining up on the stairs and in the water for their Instagram moment. To be fair, the waterfall itself is stunning. A broad cascade tumbling down tiered black rocks like a natural staircase. But with the crowds, the queues and the constant posing, it felt more like a photo studio than a nature spot. It certainly didn't make us want to hang around for long. Can we go back to Tibumana, please? And yet, if you take a moment to look past the crowds, there's still signs of the waterfall's deeper meaning. Mossy carvings of spiritual faces peek out from the rocks, and nearby there's a small cave that locals use for prayer and quiet reflection. Even here, in the middle of the Instagram hustle, Bali's spiritual heart still finds a way to show itself, if you're looking for it. Today's tour promised the real Bali, and in some ways it delivered. We saw ancient temples, sacred springs, lush rice terraces, and yes, plenty of swings, queues and Instagram poses along the way. What we found was a constant push and pull between tradition and tourism, the sacred and the staged. But if you look beyond the photo ops, there's still so much beauty, depth and meaning to discover. We're glad we took the time to look a little closer, and we hope this video helps you do the same. If you enjoyed watching, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and let us know in the comments. What are your thoughts on the balance between culture and tourism in places like Bali? Thanks for roving with us. We're Chris and Lydia, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.